Well, interest rates remain at the highest level in more than 20 years, and that continues to put pressure on Canadians, particularly Canadian homeowners with a mortgage. However, it looks like the number of Canadians concerned about their mortgage renewals has declined. This is according to the latest survey by Leger for BNN Bloomberg and RATESDOTCA. For more, let's bring in John Shmuel. He's managing editor at RATESDOTCA. John, thanks so much for coming in.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
So a bit of a decline in terms of people's concern over their pending mortgage renewals, which we've heard a lot about in terms of the expectation of this wave to come.
That's right. Yeah, we were surprised to see it. Nothing has really happened with interest rates too much. They've come down a little bit, but there's been that 4 percentage point decrease in the last time we did this survey, which was last July. So fewer Canadians now are worried about renewals. Now, that's a bit to be expected, though, because we've had so much time hearing about interest rates the past 2 to 3 years going up that a lot of Canadians should have been preparing, right? They should have been saving. And we are seeing that pan out throughout the survey, that a lot of Canadians are saying, yes, I have been preparing. I am worried about my renewal and higher interest rates, but I'm doing things to try to prevent myself from having payments that are not affordable.
Yeah, what kind of stuff are people doing in order to prepare?
Yeah, so the top thing is just spending less money. So 40% of those surveyed said, I'm just cutting back in my budget and just trying to spend less. Other people are doing more concerning things. They're dipping into their savings to try to make up for the additional payments that are going to come at renewal. Some people are taking on debt. That's a concerning stat. What's really interesting, though, is we've done this survey 3 times in the past 2.5 years, so one in 2022, one in 2023, and this one. We always ask, do you plan to sell your home at renewal? And in fact, every single survey, it's been 2 or 3%. The rise in interest rates have not led more Canadians to be worried that they won't be able to afford their payment and decide they have to sell their house to afford it.
Yeah, that's an interesting takeaway in itself in terms of trying to get a sense of the stress that people are feeling, the financial stress that they're feeling. If they're not feeling so, stretched that they have to get out, that's, a good thing in terms of the sustainability, I suppose, of their finances.
Yeah, that's right. I think what we're really going to pay attention to is this spring housing market, right? We will do this survey again. There's been chatter. I'm sure you've had guests that have come on the show and said, people have been waiting until spring, right? We saw
We just heard from them, yeah.
Okay,
yep.
There you go. We had a very slow market last year, right? And the expectation is that sellers kind of pulled their houses or sat on the sidelines, and they're going to come back to the market in spring to try to sell their house, right? So it's going to be interesting to see what happens if that market is healthy, right? And maybe prices stop falling down and interest rates kind of stabilize. Then there are going to be fewer and fewer Canadians that are worried about renewals or worried about being able to afford their payments. But if we have a weak market, prices keep going down, interest rates move higher, we might have a very different next survey, right? But it's very clear that people are doing everything they can, even though they're worried, to afford their homes, whether it's just spending less, saving more, they're making it work, they want to stay in their homes, and so far they've been able to.